Everyone, I hope you're having a good day today. Today my proclivity is to talk about the hologram that we all live in. The Bible is a holographic book, and we'll get into the details of how it's a hologram. But for now, what I'm noticing on YouTube and a lot of the other teachers out there and channels that are big time blown up is we've got information coming in from all different levels of consciousness and different channels, different, Mary Magdalene, Jesus, Sananda, Archangel Michael, the ETs, Daryl Anka channels Bashar, which is a parallel, it's actually a parallel world to ours. So I came to comprehend and understand all this stuff while I was healing my knee, because what Jesus came and taught me was every single person and consciousness, but let's deal with people since you're peoples. Every single person, every single soul is technically speaking the center of their universe, right? You're in your heart center is you. And so you're this consciousness, and we talked about that alignment thing. Out from that, expanded out from you goes your connection, like a molecule with the nucleus and the protons and the neutrons and the electrons. So goes out your signals to all of the universe. Now, this is where some people might get a little bit annoyed, because it's like, well, how can it all be one thing, but yet there's all the universe? I'll get to that really quickly. Just bear with me here. When you are meditating, let's do that. You've got your eyes closed, you're sitting in your body, and you're in your consciousness. You're living pretty much in your imagination with your projected out, when you think a thought, connection to whatever you believe reality to be, right? Stay with me. So when you are aware that you exist, and I would call the edges of your universe your skin, right? Then you always bounce like a heartbeat back to yourself. You don't have a heartbeat and it keeps going on forever, even though there's okay, we can go on the electromagnetic frequency level. Yes, those signals continue forever. But in terms of your physical experience, you have Abraham Hicks called it take the bounce. So you send out a request perhaps, or a thought, and you get feedback, a loop, your heartbeat. People think of the heartbeat as I think it's really cool. So you're just this point in time, and that balanced heartbeat from your center point is a really cool way to comprehend how in my meditations I came to understand that this is a great image for every different point of consciousness, every single solitary, quote unquote, aspect of all there is, every soul, every other person exists, is out there, is a mirror reflection of you. So you could draw cajillions of heartbeats communicating with themselves, itself, whatever. Now, that's a really important thing in terms of the hologram, because the Sikhs have a wonderful, people say namaste a lot, and I don't know if they understand completely that. What that means is the God in me, it honors the God in you. I respect the fact that I know you are an aspect of the one, as I am an aspect of the one, and I honor that, because we're mirroring each other, and we come together to co-create and make a third reality. That being said, is a really cool tie into the Bible as a hologram. Jesus always says the kingdom of heaven is within you. And it is, because it is you. Because you are your own universe. Your own note. Your own signature frequency of one aspect of God. Just leave it at that. So let's look at it from a cosmic perspective, I mean, as big as the universe, way out there, right, in your imagination. So you are your own universe, contained within your body and your mind and your soul, your consciousness, is everything. It's all in there. How is that possible? Because it's all one thing from different manifested, malleable points of view. So, for example, when you were a little kid and you were running around in the yard, you were still you, but you were experiencing life from that perspective. And now you're at a different point in time, but you're still you, but you're having experiences with different toys, different houses, different chairs, beds, jobs, clothes, videos, whatever. So it's always you, but you're experiencing different aspects of creation, exploring from different perspectives. So when you wrap your head around that, then you can no longer buy into this lie created by everything from religions to politics and school systems. And, you know, no offense everybody, but let's face it, we keep cramming really old information down kids' throats as if it was necessary for their success. You already succeeded. You exist. That's good enough. The rest is for your enjoyment. I think a perfect example is someone like PewDiePie. I think that kid has pretty much shown the world that, like, clearly school was not the key to his, you know, rise to living his dreams, right? It was a bunch of swearing with a bunch of video games, and he's astronomically successful and happy. Now, is that everyone's path? No, that was his path, but I think he's a great example of Steve Jobs too. You know, you follow what you came here to do. You play with the stuff that you came here to play with. So on the holographic level, for each of us and from my experience, what I learned was life is not so much as an action journey. When I would meditate for hours on end to heal my knee, what I realized was it's not what we physically do and, like, you know, move things around as much as it was tuning into the frequency of the perfect health in my leg that I was wanting, and then following the moment-to-moment steps until that became a really solid experience. Holographically speaking, what I would see was this. I would see, okay, here I am with an ouchie knee, right? And Jesus showed me, but the you that is in perfect health actually exists in a parallel reality where you're in perfect health. So don't focus on this you, 6 years old, running down, you know, now you want to be 7 years old. Focus on this you and literally use your imagination to remember. I had to literally remember what it felt like to feel good and feel whole. So I would sit with he was also teaching physics. I would sit with my left hand on my heart and my right hand on my knee and just meditate on that. And I learned that because he's always doing that with the Sacred Heart. You're looking at Jesus. That would be his right hand. He's always got his right hand raised and his left hand on his heart. And I asked him, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, it's a circuit. It's literally a circuit. Your heart is beating this grace frequency, this perfect balance electromagnetic frequency for every cell in your entire body. And when you close down that loop and you use your right hand as like a wire to, which is what I did was put it on my knee, then this really amped up, and this frequency, the cells and the plastic and the metal started to resonate to my natural synchronicity of my heartbeat, of the song that is me. Everybody's got their own song, right? Their own note. So, holographically speaking, I'm my own little hologram, but I'm also connected to all the universe. Stay with me, because I exist. Now, so I'm a walking universe. Jesus is a walking universe. You're a walking universe. And that platform, the mirror of creation that we call Earth, is where we play with energy. We're just molding energy. So whether you're a singer, or an artist, or an athlete, you're playing with you're playing with a holographic light frequency and enjoying the rush and the exhilaration of molding that energy. And we get frustrated and annoyed and really pissed off when we're out of alignment, when we're out of resonance, because it doesn't feel good. And the reason it doesn't feel good is our heart is like beaming out these signals, and there's blocks. If there's a hurt knee or something, there's block to the natural flow of the energy. And we think like, oh, I need another beer, or I need a cigarette, or I need another $1 million to feel better. When actually the real frustration is there's just blocks in our flow. When you were 6 years old, you scraped your knee and you knew daggone well you just needed to wait for that sucker to heal and you'd feel better, and then you get back off and running. Whereas as we get older, we get trained that the outside conditions are the reason we don't feel good, when in fact the outside conditions are just reflecting back to us what we've got going on in the inside. Does that make some sense? Please ask me questions in the comments. But what Jesus was saying to me was, when he's telling people, sell everything you have and come follow me, what he's trying to say is, follow your body, follow your joy, follow your bliss, follow the love that's already in you, and you will find your resonance again. You'll find your balance. You'll find your joy again. And it won't matter what you're eating, or where you live, or what kind of clothes you have, or what the specifics won't be as important as to the fact that you're existing and you're feeling good. So the hologram of the Bible plays into that, because Jesus... Okay, wait, let me make sure I wrap this up properly. So back to the hologram of you. You are a hologram. You are light on the inside. Kingdom of heaven is on the inside. And if you don't believe me, close your eyes, sit down, meditate, touch your body, and realize for a minute you're a consciousness walking around inside of a liquid love, of a vibrating, pulsating, resonant bubble of light. Yeah, you're a light being. Okay? And if that's hard to wrap your head around, get on Google and stuff and go look at those beautiful photographs of children in utero and see how they're transparent. Little babies, when you see them in utero, they're transparent little bubbles of liquid. Boom, 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 boom. It'll really hit you when you go back and look at those photographs, that like you're a bubble of love, and your beast, your body, your host that's what people call Jesus, what people call Christ, what people call the Abraham. So you're one consciousness inside of your very own personal love bubble. I don't have a better term for it. And nothing makes you more frustrated when that love bubble's like a little bit out of whack and doesn't feel good. So focus on this more than you focus on what's going on out there, because this is going with you the whole way. No matter where you live or what you eat. I mean, this is it. Does that make sense? So how are you a hologram? You are peering out through your little love bubble, because people forget that glossed over your eyeball is a water. It's the sea of glass. When you see the Bible, that there's the throne is a sea of glass, and like it describes it as a throne. I'll just draw it as a throne, even though I see it differently, and there's the one sitting on the throne. Yay! Da-da. He's got his little gold thing around his chest. There's God, right? The sea of glass is your eyeball. It's really hard to put things into words, so the Bible uses metaphors and allegories. And down here, this would be you peering to your platform that you call Earth. That's reflecting back to you what you got going on. I always like to think of that Men in Black alien that's riding inside of that dude. It's kind of like that. Sort of like that, because you're a consciousness riding inside of this body. And your hosts, these oscillating cells that are carrying you around in your life's journey, are conscious. They are extremely conscious and extremely aware, but they also do what you tell them to do. If you think that you're dying, then they'll be like, okay, because you have that much power. So you've got to work with them so that you get reflected back to you holographically what you believe you are. Now, sorry, I just lost the thought. It looks complicated, but it's really not. What you put out is what you get back. It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror. So when Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within you, he's telling you your perception, your ideas, your beliefs, and everything, the entire universe is within your imagination. It's with you and it's in you. So on a cosmic scale, I mean seriously, on a universal scale, on the one hand you're this little tiny person who's dreaming that you're on Earth, you're a hologram, and you look up in the sky and there's the seven sisters, the Pleiades, or here's Orion, and these stars can communicate with you and talk to you instantaneously, and you can talk to them because it's all connected. All right? So holographically, you don't have to get in a ship, a rocket ship, and zoom out here to comprehend and communicate with Orion and all that stuff. You can just sit your butt down and meditate and focus in that direction and download whatever it is you want to know. They will communicate with you. How is that possible? Because there's only one moment in time, and so you are shifting your focus. I'm going to look over here and think about that. Now I'm going to look over here and think about birthday cake. Candles. Now I'm going to look over here and go to a concert. Now I'm going to look over here and take a walk. But it's the same moment. You're just shifting through massive amounts of holographic experiences and ideas. But they're all already out there. So you get to choose. Am I going to shift this way, backwards in time, left laterally in time? I'm going to stay in this age, that age, whatever. And the more I learn that, the more I've been working on wow, we can youth ourselves. And I wasn't 100% convinced in that until my knee got better, and I'm like, okay, wait, I just manipulated plastic and metal. So clearly everything's quite responsive to how we think. And that hologram, that's where Jesus says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be open to you. He wasn't kidding. And it's our faith that makes us whole, because we begin to have faith in our ability to communicate with ourselves and the entire universe. Sorry, I just turned my head around that far. So when you see it that way, I'm not going to go into the Bible that deeply right now, but I'm going to show it to you in a visual. The Bible was always written in scrolls. Okay? So that would mean what? That inside here, on the inside of the pages is information, and on the outside, the scroll that is written on the inside and the outside, that's you. You are the kingdom of heaven is within you. All the information's in you, and it's also, you get to see it reflected back to you out there. It's that simple. So the Bible as a living word, as a living reality, that's what it's trying to say. And when a couple things happen in Revelation. We break the seals, which is what we've been doing for about 5 years now. We're breaking the seals on the illusion that linear time is real and all of that. And we're, opening this sucker up and unrolling it so that we can see more clearly on a linear sort of way, day by day, moment by moment, video by video, comprehend how all this information wraps in on itself. But there's a point in Revelation where it says how all the heavens are rolled up, all the heavens withdraw and are rolled, disappear, and they're rolled back up into a scroll. That's like, it's kind of like it opens and then it closes back up so that you become your own living Bible, your own living word. So I hope that helps with the hologram a bit. Sometimes it's overwhelming for me, only in the sense that like living in 3D is becoming, well, very peaceful, but sometimes really annoying because I'm overwhelmed enough with dealing with all the stuff in here, seeing it out here, trying to communicate it, and, keep a job and produce videos and do blogging and other stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm writing a book to make some simple tools for people to play with on a daily basis, because the one sort of interesting thing I've noticed with some people that are awake is they get stuck, because when you sort of shut it down to the singular moment, they don't know what next step to take because there's infinite choices. So how do you know, what should I do now? Well, you have to choose, but ultimately try to choose stuff that makes you happy, really super happy, like the fun stuff, like swimming and running and playing and yoga and good food and good friends, jobs that you love, your favorite pillows, your favorite cats and dogs and stuff like that. Rather than, because ultimately, think about all the people that have died, all their stuff, it didn't matter to anybody but them, so I really hope they enjoyed it, right? So while you're here, try to have simplified, fun, loving, joyful, as many stretched out moments that you really savor and enjoy. Enjoy your meals, every bite of it, and let the miracles come to you more and more and more and more and more. So you're a hologram, I'm a hologram, we're all holograms, communicating with each other, allowing sort of like the cosmic telephone lines to connect us all together so that we can have more enjoyable experiences and better comprehend who we all are. Hopefully one day, I like the idea, people talk about ETs will actually land on the planet in physical form. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really cool. When you like that, like you go to the grocery store and it's like, yo, what up, dude? I wonder what they look like. Okay, so please ask me any questions that you have, like how is it holographic on a visual level? How is it holographic on a sound level is a whole different thing, but basically there's a note, the sound of grace that connects everything, and you can follow that frequency into any place in the universe. And so you've got to just sort of, like a telephone, like dialing a number, changing channels, point yourself in the direction of what feels best, because what doesn't feel good isn't good for you. Kids are smart like that. What feels good is probably part of your story, part of your scroll. And you have to play with it a little bit, whether like play in the grocery store, just rather than look at all the stuff, just kind of like, I do this is like the goofiest thing that I do, but it's one of my favorite things. When I'm buying cat food, I'll actually put my hand on the cans and see which ones, some of them will feel like really negative, and then some of them will feel like really free-flowing positive, and it works every single time. The ones that feel good, the cats love it. The ones that feel resistant, sometimes I just buy them for the hell to see what happens. They hate it. So you can actually, your body will feel for you what is, they call it in alignment, what resonates with you and what doesn't. You'll be able to feel it. So eventually you could almost be blind and sense the energies of what you want to get, what you want to buy. So you can play with that one. That's a really great way to figure out the hologram, because you're looking to create a life experience that is reflective, right, of who you really are. So you want to pick up objects and things and experiences and people and songs and moments in time that resonate with you, that are in harmony with who you are, not the ones that aren't. So I would recommend that if you want a tool to play with. Do it at the store. Just close your eyes and like feel. You can touch a box, you know, or like this apple, that apple. You start to feel which ones are in harmony with you. People do muscle testing for that all the time. I like to just touch it because I think that's more, it's more of a challenge because it's super subtle. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon. If you, and by the way, since we're all made of stars, we made a clothing line, FinniganNote.com, Finnigan, FINNIGAN-note.com. It's named after my son. He really wanted to like let people know that they're made of stars, so we made an entire clothing line of stars, from shirts and skirts and dresses and all kinds of crazy stuff. But they're actually made from the cosmos. You'll see. So you can go check that out if you want to get something and wear your stars on the outside that you're already wearing on the inside. That would be really fun. Go and check out the shop. Let me know what you think of it. If you have any requests or you see something that, or you have any ideas and you want me to make you something custom, I will totally do that. I don't care. I love doing this stuff. All right. And if you want something custom, leave me a comment and I'll email you or message you back. But I've made a couple of custom tanks and stuff for other people just so they could have their own stuff that they loved. That was very fun for me. I've made some for artists and a couple other shop owners. So thank you for checking that out. That would be fun. My son thanks you. He's 13 and he really loves it when people check out his stuff and tell him what they think. He goes to school and everyone's like, "Are you wearing the Pleiades?" And yeah, he is. He's wearing the Pleiades on a shirt. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I love you. Have a great day. Don't stop shining.